2022. It's February 2022. The last 2 years have been tumultuous at best for business owners, for the world actually. Yet here we find ourselves ready to go again. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. The Japanese proverb meaning to choose to never give up hope and to always strive for more. Focusing not on the reality in front of you, but on that which may not be reality yet. 2022, I'm starting you right, and I am excited for what's to come. It's been a minute, my friends, but a break was needed, and the break was so well received. Thanks so much for bearing with me, but I'm happy to be back. 2022 is shaping up to be one jam-packed year of all the good stuff for my business, including that which I have lined up for this podcast. As you know, this podcast not only is designed to bring you kick-ass content and strategies to help move your business forward, but it's also a celebration of being in business and the journeys that we take as business owners. As such, you are going to be delighted by the guests that I have this year. I'm certainly blown away by the journeys these guests have taken, so I can't wait to share them with you. But I'm going to start today's episode, though, by getting real honest right now. 2021 was a year that exhausted me beyond any other year that I've ever experienced since being a business owner. And that's putting it nicely. It really was shit on so many levels. It was a year that had me doubting my path, doubting my choices, my strategies. And this was all the time. It was not fun at all. But at the same time, upon reflection and taking that much needed break at the end of the year, I got to sit in the sun and take a moment to breathe. But it was what I needed to see, that it was also a year of significant change and progress in so many areas of my business that were all positive. So you know what? 2022, I'm coming for you. This will not be a year of doubt. I'm taking back the certainty and the confidence, and I'm moving forward. And there is so much there for me in 2022. There is so much here for me this year. So today, it's all about starting the year right. So I'm going to talk about 5 strategies that we can do as business owners, including myself, to really own this year. COVID can do whatever the fuck it likes to do in the background. I'm moving forward. Who's coming with me? First up, it goes without saying that the number one strategy to start this year right is to have a plan. And I'm talking about a real one that works and one that we can honestly implement into our business. I don't know about you, but I've been in situations where I've created plans. They've gone to shit for some reason, and I wind up at the end of the year wondering why I didn't achieve what I set out to achieve. Admittedly, these plans all centered around social media strategies that I consistently struggle with and therefore never seem to achieve. Why? Because I didn't start by making them realistically. I didn't break down my plan enough to be able to achieve it. I'm not one of those people that can have a key overarching objective and just work towards it. I personally need to break that key objective into smaller, more manageable tasks that make sense and that create momentum. So my plan for 2022 is to get specific and honest about what I can achieve, by when, and having a clear path to how I'm going to achieve it. And I'm also going to make sure that they're reasonable and specific. And there are so many tools and methods that we collectively, I know I can, employ to do this. One, which I know I've spoken about before, and that is the mini habits method, where you break down tasks into what's called stupid small so that you absolutely can't fail at them. The other could be using organizational tools and resources like Trello and Asana to keep the plan on track. Simply plotting out moments of time in our calendar, locking them in just like we would a meeting, but actually sticking to it. And of course, monitoring the process of the plan throughout and having a way to capture those achievements along the way. Another strategy that we can do as business owners to really own this year is to learn from the past. And perhaps this goes hand in hand with the first strategy, but it's worth dedicating a whole strategy to because it's that important. Of course, I'm going to say that this strategy will work with financial reflection, learning how we performed as business owners and what were the financial drivers of our business. It'll provide much needed insight into how we structure our future plans we have for this year. But this strategy will also be helpful for those plans that we're making this year in other areas. So we need to learn what worked from last year, whether it be financial or any other outcome, both positive or negative for our businesses. We need to review what happened and use this information to understand what big move did we make and which ones didn't we? What was the outcome of either making them or not? We need to draw these lessons from our past, but we don't need to stay there. We need to take this information and create the future that awaits us, that we want, with confidence and without hesitation. If there was a reason we didn't achieve an outcome that we wanted, we need to just get honest about it, why it didn't work, and work through the steps to ensure that it happens this time around. We have control over the outcomes that we want. Next up, be honest and develop an understanding of any new skills you may need to achieve the outcomes you've set for yourself. I'll admit, I'm normally a fly by the seat of my pants kind of gal when it comes to learning a new skill. Usually, it's the 11th hour, I'm on a deadline, and then I decide to learn how to use the software that I've purchased with hours to go until the deadline hits. This creates so much anxiety and stress for me. But I tell you what, it's not going to happen this year. This year, I have some pretty big projects I want to get off the ground. And in creating my plan for these projects, I have made sure that I took the time to really understand where there may be gaps in my learning that may prohibit me from performing the tasks that need to be performed for me to achieve these desired outcomes. So I've included in my plan timelines around learning what I need to know long before I need to know it. And I'm sure things may come up along the way that I may end up adding to this list. But if I plan enough for it, I just know it will give me plenty of time to get it right. This may also extend beyond the skill set that you have as an individual or your individual needs and include getting access to those that have a skill set that you need. It would be just as effective to include in your plan steps you need to take to find those that have the skill you need or get access to software or apps, etc., that can do it all for you. But the key takeaway with this strategy is to have a clear guideline on what this all may be before you get started. Of course, it would be remiss of me not to include in this list of strategies that we can do this year to really own it, the strategy of taking time for ourselves. Or for me, at least starting with getting a better balance than I've managed to in the past. I read recently that the greatest wealth you can build is discretionary time. And this is going to be pivotal to 2022 for me. You see, I'm known for carting my laptop everywhere I go in the event that I have a spare minute to do some work. Let me just put it this way, I'm not that special. Just the other day, I had to go to the Apple store with a fault with my watch and still threw my laptop in my bag, carted around the entire shopping mall and didn't stop once to do any work. Because let's be honest, I did some shopping while I was there along the way, as well as go to the Apple store. But you know what? I took it anyway. Even though it was heavy on my shoulders, I took it with me. My 9-year-old son asked me just the other day to go to this water park near our home. And in trying to convince me to go, he thought it would be smart of him to add, but you can bring your computer, mum, and do work if you like. I tell you what, it's a problem, my friend, because I've done it before. So it is high up on my list this year. And I think it should be ingrained in all of our strategies. And the last, but I'm sure not the least when it comes to starting the year right in business, is to make learning a priority. Recently, a friend told me that it's important for them to remain a student consistently in their business. And this really resonated with me. Whilst I've worked in the financial field for over 20 years as a coach and worked with business owners on their financial strategies, I still find that I'm forever learning every day from these business owners and others about one thing or another. It may be a new industry, a new software, a new way to communicate that is more effective. Whatever it is, it's part of my journey and it should be yours too. I've never proclaimed to know everything, even in the financial space. But you can bet your last dollar I will learn and keep moving forward so as to improve my skills and, more importantly, my service offerings for my clients. So don't hold yourself back through fear of asking for help. I recently had a client say to me that they wish they'd joined my one-on-one coaching program sooner. They had endured years of just getting through every day and hoping it would work. Reluctant because they didn't have the funds to invest in the coaching program, only to realize now that they're knee deep in it, that the program has paid for itself and beyond. And knowing this now, she wishes she'd asked for help sooner and invested in herself to avoid the stress and overwhelm that she'd been feeling for so long. If you are interested in seeing whether my one-on-one coaching programs are right for you, I'll put a link in the show notes where you can book a free, no obligation discovery call to have a chat. So take a moment to find out and understand what you need. Look for those people or books or podcasts or apps that can provide you with what you need, and continually move yourself and your business forward through learning. And please don't ever be afraid to learn from feedback either. It's a great learning platform that every business owner really should go through. As I mentioned before, there are plenty of strategies, I'm sure, that you can employ in your business to start your year right. These are just a few on my radar this year that I've already found extremely useful and that I've started my year right. So go forth, my friends, make it count. Till next time.